Hey everybody, and Tony here with a review of Gershwin, Bernstein and Friends, which I saw yesterday at the Konzerthaus am Gendarmenmarkt, and it was part of the 25th anniversary of the classic Open Air Berlin. The conductor was Christian Järvi, who led the Konzerthaus Orchester Berlin. The organist was Cameron Carpenter. The solo violinist was Ray Chen, and the soloist singer was Nadia Michael. And I'll get to her later because I have a lot to say about her. The concert started with George Gershwin's An American Paris Overture, and Maestro Christian Järvi led the orchestra in such a sweeping manner that I was totally engaged and totally looking forward to the overall concert, and it was a very suitable opening. And then we get to Ray Chen's rendition of Max Bruch's Scottish Fantasy, which he played with charisma, and when he appeared on stage, he had a lot of confidence, and he was totally sure that he was gonna rock the house, and he definitely did. This musical work basically felt like a bel canto opera aria. You have the main cavatina, and it just builds up to an exciting cabaletta, which I felt was quite fun to listen to because I'm also a huge bel canto opera fan, even though this piece of work was probably composed way after the bel canto period. So I really have to give huge props to Ray Chen for really giving off such a stirring and very invigorating rendition of this wonderful piece. And we get to Leonard Bernstein's overture to Candide, which was played on the organ by Cameron Carpenter, and he did absolutely fabulously, making sure that he hit all the right notes. And it was just a lot of fun listening to the overture to Leonard Bernstein's opera slash musical, because I mainly knew this great piece of work through the coloratura aria Glitter and Be Gay, which has become a concert piece for a lot of coloratura sopranos. And to hear the lines that go dun 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 was just so exciting to listen to. And then we get to Samuel Barber's Toccata Festival, also with Cameron Carpenter on the organ with the orchestra, and everyone really pulled it together. And now we get to the main highlight of this concert, and that was seeing Nadia Michael. Over the years, we have seen Nadia Michael really growing from a contralto in the 90s and thus transitioning to a lot of the dramatic mezzo roles in the late 90s and early 2000s. And somewhere in the mid 2000s, she started singing a lot of these dramatic soprano roles. She has a career that is quite similar to that of her many predecessors, like Margareta Matzenauer, Edith Walker, Gertrude Runge, Helena Braun, Shirley Verrett, Gloria Lane, Grace Bumbry, Jeanne Billon, and many other mezzos who have also transitioned to doing a lot of the soprano roles, especially what we've been having today with the likes of Mona Zohm and Sarah Murphy, and even the likes of Petra Lang, just to name a few. There were times she was criticized for her harsh tone and her notes being a little bit too much on the flat or sharp side. There were times that she was criticized heavily for a lot of her inconsistencies in terms of her musicality. But when it comes to her stage presence and when it comes to her skills as an actress, she's definitely had a lot of praise from a lot of critics and fans alike, mostly because she was very well known for being such a stage animal, which was really evident from the times she was a contralto to mezzo to being a full-on dramatic soprano. She has sung roles ranging from Erda in her contralto years, even the third lady from Magic Flute, only at the age of roughly around 23 or 24. And from the mid 90s to early 2000s, she has found herself singing a lot of the high dramatic mezzo roles like Carmen, Eboli, Dalila, Dulcinea, and Charlotte. And now we get to see her as a dramatic soprano, specializing in roles like Salome, Lady Macbeth, and what we have today with Ortrud. And she's going to be singing her first Electra next year. In fact, she was also quite well known for a lot of these femme du monde roles like Venus, Amneris, and Giulietta, just to name a few roles she's done, especially helped by her very gorgeous and very wonderful figure. Yes, there are times she does have a harsh tone, but I have to give her credit for what she pulled off that night. She gave off such stirring renditions, and quite exciting ones at that, and it really showed just how versatile of a singer she was, especially evidenced with Summertime. And when she got to the second part of that, she reached that chest voice, which I really enjoyed because you really get to see how full it really is. And she really showed how versatile she was, from singing a lot of the low notes to some of the high notes as well. I have to really give her loads of credit because even though she has a very harsh tone, even though I may not care too much of that tone of her voice, I have to really give her loads of kudos for everything she's pulled off. She is such a stage animal, and she really knows how to get invested with the text and everything that she does, whether it's a concert or an opera or everything she does. I have to give my hat off to someone like her for being such a complete artist, whether I like the sound of her voice or not. She did absolutely fine throughout the evening. And then we wrap up the concert with Maurice Ravel's Bolero, which builds up and up and up and then comes into such a fine climax. And then we get two encore numbers, one of them being Claude Debussy's Clair de Lune. And those of you who have watched Ren and Stimpy will automatically recognize the opening tones and some of the movements found in this piece. So overall, I really have to say, to those of you who have organized the Classic Open Air Berlin, bravo to all of you. You guys have really pulled it off very well, and I congratulate you all for an awesome 25 years, and here's to another awesome 25 years to come. And all my kudos has to go to Maestro Christian Yervi, Mr. Ray Chen, Mr. Cameron Carpenter, and of course, the fine Madame Nadia Michael for really making this concert very much worthwhile. Well, that's all for now. Be sure to tune in later where I review the live stream production of Wagner's Parsifal, which is going to be live from the Bayreuther Festspielhaus. So until then, have a great day, everybody.